The business itself started like 12, 13 odd years back. But Veronica started baking when she was a little girl. As young as 12, 13, I was baking already. It started with my mother giving me a friendship cake in Diepkloof, and my friends did not want to share into that friendship cake. Actually, they didn't understand what was that friendship cake all about. I also didn't know what the friendship cake was. The friendship cake itself, it started with me having to stir the cake for a week, and then after a week adding some ingredients and stir it for another week. On the 10th day, then bake the cake. But before baking it, share it with friends.
Sure.
So I had to share it with 3 friends. But my friends were not interested, so I shared it with myself. I became imaginary friends that I was sharing it with. Then each and every one, I'll add different things on it. This one I'll put pineapple, this one I'll put cinnamon, whatever. But I had my uncle who was supporting my baking so much that he was making sure that on the 10th day, he's got everything that I need to make sure that I've got something to bake.
Yeah.
But that's how it started. But I didn't think that I was a baker. I thought I was cut out to be a scientist or something. So I went out of my way and I studied science. I went and studied analytical chemistry. And I thought, I made it. I'm going to be something. But I realized that I don't like it. And I just didn't like whatever that I was doing. And I started all over again, and I studied for something else. I thought maybe I need to be in an office. Then I did IT, and I'm like, I'm not going to be programming stuff. It's not me. At that time, I started feeling like, I think I'm lost. I don't know where to go. And I was working as a database administrator, but never happy. Never. I was always thinking, I need to be doing something else that is bigger than what I'm doing. In the background, though, I'm busy baking for my friends and giving them cakes for free. And one day, one of my friends asked me for a bucket of scones. And I said to her, I'll charge you for this one. Because she was taking it to a funeral. She took it. She came back and said, they want more. They want 4 buckets. I'm like, huh? Okay. I'm working full time, eh?
Yeah.
I will produce 4 buckets. I didn't even know how much to charge. I played around with numbers and voila, I had a price. Gave her the 4 buckets, and the next week people wanted more. I'm like, oh my word, what have I started? And it started like that. I employed one lady who helped me while I was still at work. I trained her, I taught her how to bake. Well, I'm talking about someone who didn't even know 250 means 1 cup. That's how this person knew nothing about baking. But today she is my best baker of note. And I employed her, and I was working full time on the side. Then my orders became bigger and bigger, and I realized that this is not going to work because I was burning out. And I said, one has to die, and my job had to die at the time. And I let it go. And that's how Vero's Cakes started. In my garage. I worked in the garage for 4 years with no pay, with nothing, but doing it because I loved it. People were ordering. I was so excited that someone wants my product. And every time I would just polish it more and get better and better at what I was doing. And source new recipes. And it all started like that. Working with people, you face people's issues that you didn't think about when you started your business. You thought your business is all about baking, then you realize that there's other things involved. You have to deal with the people now, understand them, that they are people, they're not machinery, they've got feelings. Now you have to work with them and nurture them and take them step by step until they reach the point where you want them to be. And as a business, when you start up, the biggest challenge that I had was access to finance. It was terrible, I must say. My mother, my sister, everyone had to go around looking for loans for me. Because I started very small and I didn't see the business in my head. I didn't look at it as a bigger picture, as a big business. I saw it as what I could do now, for now, and survive now. And because I was working in my garage, the first thing that I did, I bought a small oven that could put 4 trays, which was bigger than my normal kitchen oven that was taking 2 trays. For me, it was a big thing that I could bake with 4 trays at the time.
Yeah.
And wow, I can produce a bucket within an hour. So, like starting in small little steps and understanding your space in that little time that you have with your little whatever that you have, it's enough to get going. And as you go along, you reinvest in your own business with your own money that you put in. And of course, you have to borrow here and borrow there and owe this person and run around for a week without answering their calls. But it works out at the end of the day. The Hope Factory, they've been mentoring me from 2014. Ever since being in the Hope Factory, it just opened my eyes and realized that, when you work on your own and you're the own boss and you make decisions on your own, you're lonely in that journey and no one is there to pat you on the shoulder and say, Veronica, you're going in the right direction, or just hang on, just think about this. Are you sure this is what you want to do? So for me, it was like I have someone who's there next to me that I can run ideas to and I can sit down with and tell them my story and let them listen to what I want to do and advise and nurture me in getting to where I want to be. Because most of the time I was literally baking. I was a baker. I was not running a business.
Yeah.
And they made me realize that, it's bigger than you always baking. Can you just start now and think about how are you going to grow the business and look at it as something else, not just a little thing that you're doing. Like sometimes when you're a small business, you think small. But with them, they made me realize that look at your accounts. Sit down and look at your accounts and make decisions based on your management accounts. Are they making sense? Are you making right decisions? And for me, it has been a very amazing journey.